Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
In the podcasting life, they must fight to survive. Shackled by the chains of the past. They're the biggest of geeks, cause they watch every week. Subscribe to see if they can last. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We can't ever stop. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We will podcast till we drop. Probably forever. Yeah, whatever. Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Dino Charge.
Welcome for the very first time to Ranger Danger Dino Charge.
I'm super excited.
I'm glad you are. My name is Matt.
I'm Michael.
If this is your first time listening to a Ranger Danger podcast, what we do is we watch an episode of Power Rangers, and then after that, we discuss it.
Yep.
What we've been doing previously is watching episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It's been terrible.
There have been some highlights.
And there have been some incredible lowlights.
There's been a lot of...
For every pumpkin wrapper, there's been a Palutacorn or a Giant.
Yeah, Giant wasn't great. So what we're going to do now is continue doing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on our sort of sister podcast, Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger. But this is Ranger Danger Dino Charge. We're going to watch Power Rangers Dino Charge, and then after we watch those episodes, we're going to talk about them.
Yes. So, first,
Yes.
we have to thank Tim for the theme.
It is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much else to say,
No.
except the fact that we were moved when we listened
I mean,
to it.
I've had it on my phone for a month, and I think I've probably listened to it every day.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
What else? We're a week earlier than we expected to be.
Yeah, so they released an episode early on Nick.com.
Yeah, all of a sudden on Friday, they were like, hey, if people do some tweets, we'll
Drop it early.
make an internet happen.
Yeah.
So, it's a week earlier. So next week we'll do something else. We haven't quite hashed out what that is yet.
Yeah, but there will be another Dino Charge themed episode.
Yes,
next week.
even though there won't be another Dino Charge episode next week.
That's right. So we've been covering Power Rangers for... How many have we recorded so far, Michael?
I think we've done like 18 months' work.
Okay, so that's a lot of episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yes.
This is going to be our first time watching brand new episodes of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to differ?
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah?
I've tried very hard to avoid the buzz since Friday.
Yeah, trying to come at it fresh.
I've been hearing good things, definitely.
That's exciting.
Judd Lin back. I don't see how it could go wrong. I mean, okay, I see many, many ways in which it could go wrong.
Yeah.
But
look, I'm properly excited. So we'll probably just get straight into that in just a moment.
yeah,
But before we do that, we have a website where you can check out stuff both from Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger and Ranger Danger Dino Charge.
Yep.
That's rangerdangerpodcast.com.
Yep.
All of our stuff is there, show notes, our list of favourite monsters, all sorts of stuff. You can see there. It's a cool place. You can send us an interweb mail, which is rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
We often read out listener emails on the show, so we love getting those through. If you want to send us a Twitter tweet, we're at RangerDcast.
Yep.
We're also on Facebook and iTunes and Stitcher
YouTube.
and YouTube. And we have a shop,
We have a shop.
which is rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop. We can get some incredible shirts, laptop covers. I'm looking at one right now and it's great. Yeah, some cool stuff.
Mugs.
Mugs. If you want to sip your whatever you drink out of a Power Rangers mug,
And who doesn't?
who does not want to do that?
Exactly.
That's the place to go. All right, so we're going to watch episode number 1 of Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Episode 781 of Power Rangers.
That's right. So the idea here is that we're going to pick up here watching this, and then in the following years, we're going to fill in that gap between this episode and the Power Rangers ones we're up to at the moment.
Over the next 14 or so years, and eventually we'll catch up and then we'll be done. So, this is called Powers from the Past.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it with us,
Yep.
if you're in America, it's up at nick.com.
Yep.
If you're outside America, fuck you, apparently.
There are ways. Not that we can
We
do
don't
them.
support or condone any of them, but we are also going to watch it in Australia right now.
So take that as you will.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Powers from the Past.
We're going to watch it right now.
You know what? Before we start,
Yeah.
what are you hoping for this season? Like,
What I really want is to be surprised.
Sure.
That's it. Like, I think because there's a lot more Rangers than there usually is, it seems like there's a lot that's just going to be a bit different. And there's a lot of license for them there to break the formula. You know, to come at it and present us with things that we haven't seen 20 times before. Literally 20 times
One
before.
of the things I'm really excited about is they've shot new footage of an American exclusive villain.
Right.
And I think we can both agree the addition of Lord Zed to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Really helped.
Really helped. The ability to construct their plots without relying on that stuff. So I'm hoping that this new American villain lets them make some other stuff work.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I don't want to see a direct adaptation of Power Ranger, is it?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway, of the Super Sentai that this is based on.
I've been saying its name for like 6 months, and now I've gone completely blank.
I don't want to see direct adaptation of that, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
I want to see them use the flexibility of this arrangement to really do some new stuff.
Make some other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd like to see some character development.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And some just consistent characters.
Yep.
Rather than sort of cardboard cutouts.
Even some, like, characters.
Yeah.
People with personalities and...
Which would be much better than Megaforce and Super Megaforce. And we'll see a bit of that in Mighty Morphin, but obviously there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
So
I'm pumped, I'm excited. I don't know anything. That's like... I've read a bit about the Sentai that I've completely forgotten the name of, but... None of it that I particularly remember or can call to mind.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop reading any of that now.
Yep. And just experience it.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, so if you want to watch the episode, go do that now. If not, you can just listen to our recap, and we'll be back with that in just a moment.
Ranger danger, Ranger danger.
Michael, it sounds like Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good sign.
Oh, that was really good.
Look, it was pretty good.
Look, I don't think, like, on a scale of entertainment, it was the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But compared to the 76 episodes of Power Rangers that we've already seen, I would comfortably rank it in the top 3 at least.
Totally. And I think it suffers from that thing where you've got a lot to cover in a pilot episode.
Oh, man.
But you've only got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so we really didn't...
They do make some clever decisions to not actually cover everything in the pilot.
Yeah, and I really appreciated that.
But
I think
I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah. One of the problems with the Mighty Morphin pilot, I think, is that they try and get to the status quo by the end of the episode.
Yes.
And that's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, we're definitely not there yet after this first episode.
That's right. And I really appreciate that.
I'm really excited after that.
So shall we run through it?
Yeah, let's take it from the top. So it starts with a CGI shot.
Yep.
That's
okay.
Yeah. There's a little ship.
Yeah.
And a big ship chasing it.
Yeah.
And the big ship looks much better than the little ship.
Yeah.
And I'd say, based on what happens, that's because we're going to see the big ship more.
Yeah.
And the little ship never again.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's like a proper Star Wars shot with a ship flying in from like out of camera.
Yeah.
It's good. And so the big ship is dragging a meteor behind it. And we can tell that that's the bad guy's ship because it's all like dark and gritty and clunky.
Yeah, and it has like evil green lightning around it.
And the good guy's ship, on the other hand, is like small and sleek and silver.
It looks like it came from Naboo.
Yep. So on the bad guy's ship, we meet most of the bad characters.
I'm guessing.
So there's Wrench.
Yep.
And as far as I can tell, he's basically the Baboo of the show.
That's right.
To the point where he could have the same voice as Baboo.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah. There's Sledge,
Yep.
who is like the big bad guy, and he's the American exclusive character.
That's interesting. I guess it's because with the other characters, they all don't have moving mouths. But I miss moving faces.
I really miss moving faces, yeah.
I'm not down very much with this idea of monsters who just have moulded faces that don't move.
Even just like a flappy mouth like Goldar has would be
go a long way.
Yeah.
A huge way.
Because as it is, they have to like overact with their hands.
Yeah.
It's just...
And it's hard to find like a guy menacing when he looks like he's all plastic.
Yeah.
Lord Zed didn't look like he's all plastic.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
I understand that's to match the aesthetic of the show.
Yep.
But... yeah, we also meet, is it Poisandra, Michael?
Poisandra, yeah,
Poisandra?
I think.
Who is a big pile of evil love hearts.
Yep.
Yeah. This is probably the aspect of the pilot that made me the most uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In that her motivation is to get married.
She's the only girl on the ship that we meet.
Yeah.
She wants to marry Sledge.
Yeah.
And Sledge is putting that off.
Yeah. I really hope that that's something that they just had to sit with from the Sentai. Because it would bum me out if they introduced a female villain who...
I mean, I guess the issue is she's love heart shaped.
Yeah.
And so,
but I feel like that's the obvious way to go with that. I feel like you could probably do something else with it.
Sure.
Anyway.
There's also Fury.
Yep.
Who, I don't know, he's got like a lion-y face.
He's definitely got the coolest design.
And he's got like spiky shoulders. He's the Goldar of the show, as far as I can tell.
Although he seems pretty capable.
Oh no, he's like Goldar if Goldar was good.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're chasing a dude called Keeper.
Yeah.
And we'll get to him because we've got some things to say about Keeper.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the putties are called yet, but they dissolve when they're destroyed because we see Sledge shoot one of them.
Yeah. And I'm down for that.
Yep.
Yep.
So he's Sledge. Let's talk about Sledge for a bit because he's new to the show.
Yeah.
His body doesn't seem to match his voice.
No, he seems very... He has the proportions of a character that would be like the mindless brute.
Yes.
You know, he's got a big face, he's sort of hunched over.
He's wide and chunky.
Yeah, he just looks bulky.
But he's got like a British gentleman voice almost.
He's got the stereotypical evil mastermind voice. So it's a weird decision.
Yeah, I'd have gone either sleeker or louder.
Yeah.
Like, change one of them in either direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know if we'll see... So, yeah.
Yeah, early days.
Yeah. Okay, so they managed to shoot down Keeper's ship, which crashes.
Before we get to that, on their ship, Sledge is a bounty hunter, apparently, and they have many rows of cell blocks.
I think it says 7 levels or something like that.
Full of evil monsters.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
It's great. Like, it's the perfect setup.
Yeah.
You know, like, you need monsters throughout a season. This way, you've got an easy, very easy explanation of where they all come from.
Yep.
But they don't all have to be in lockstep with the main villain.
Yes.
They can have their own agenda. So suddenly you have a whole pile of characters that can have their own independent storylines.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a monster from Mighty Morphin, they're always just going to be doing what Lord Zed says.
Its job is to destroy the Power Rangers because that's Rita Repulsa's mission for it.
Exactly, but if one of them gets out, they're probably going to want to get the Energems, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But how they do it is completely up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that...
It's a clever setup that makes a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how that plays out over the season and if that happens with any of them or if we end up seeing just kind of generic-y monsters.
Yep.
Okay, so at this point,
Yeah.
I think the ship crashes and we cut to the opening credits.
Yeah.
I dig the opening credits.
They're cool, and it really builds a sense of excitement.
Yeah.
You know?
Except, about 10 seconds in, we meet Monk E.T. We both, we should have paused because I don't think I was processing anything after that for at least 15 seconds.
Yeah.
What? So he's like a tall human size.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a red robe.
Yeah.
And out of his face is like a furry E.T.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Turbo the movie, have you?
No.
Okay. For those of you who have, imagine E.T. crossed with Lerigo, right?
It's weird.
It's...
And what we see is that, really, he's kind of E.T. crossed with Zordon before he was Zordon.
Yes.
Because what we know of Zordon was that before he got stuck in a time warp, he was a wizard who paraded around forest in a robe with a staff.
Yep.
And beat up evil guys.
Yep.
Which is exactly what this guy does.
Yeah, except, we don't actually see him in the future, which we'll get to in a sec.
Yeah.
But I have to assume he's sticking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
He's in the opening credits. I feel like he's probably going to be a bit more...
It's an interesting look.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm sold on it yet.
No. And again, his mouth moves a little bit, but it doesn't sell it for me. He just looks too stiff.
Yeah, I guess him looking like a human would be weird.
Yeah.
But maybe
Would it though?
better.
Like, we've had human aliens before.
Yeah,
from Power
I don't
Rangers.
know.
Yeah, but again, he's probably from the Japanese footage.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not. They have their own mentor who's like Birdman weird.
Right. That's a weird choice then. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, it looks expensive, that thing. You know, a lot of money went into that. Couldn't...
Probably not a lot of money.
Okay, well, like, you know...
You know this show.
But more than, like, the Power Rangers pilot amount of money, you know? But...
More than head in a tube money.
Yeah, you couldn't get a decent, like, puppet that it was expressive with that, like his eyes blink, but not in a way...
That's basically it.
Yeah, that doesn't communicate emotion.
No.
You know?
Okay, so... Yeah, that was very I guess the part that was distracting was that's the first time we've seen him.
Yeah.
And, like, it's pretty easy to go, okay, that's probably Keeper.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably what we've got going on here.
Yeah.
But having never met the guy at this stage in the pilot, you're just going, oh, what? No.
The fuck was that?
Yeah. Okay, so the Energems.
Yes.
Those are...
Energy gems.
You may be able to guess that from the names.
Gems filled with energy.
Yeah. They're like, I guess they're the MacGuffin of this season.
Totally.
So they serve a couple of functions.
Yeah.
They let you turn into a Power Ranger.
Yep.
They give you a magic gun.
Yep.
Which we'll talk about.
Yep.
And they also can give you the power to take over the universe somehow.
If you have all of them, I guess.
That's, yeah. You definitely need more than Sledge has got.
Yeah.
Which is none at this stage.
Yeah.
So, Keeper has crashed.
Yeah.
And at this point, we don't know when this stuff is taking place. But a T-Rex walks up.
Yeah.
So, it's 65 million years ago.
Yeah.
Sure. So,
for the show, it's not a bad looking dinosaur. Like, it doesn't look real.
No,
but
it doesn't look anywhere close to real.
But it's like, you know, not terrible.
Yeah, it's. I think not terrible is probably being kind, but
I don't know. Like, it's on the level of those like dinosaur documentaries you see on documentary channels.
yeah. The issue is, and the issue with a lot of shitty CG is, it never looks like it's there.
Yeah.
If it was a render of it on its own,
Yeah.
you'd go like, that's a competent dinosaur.
Yeah.
But when you see it in the scene,
Yeah.
it doesn't physically look like it is in that space at all, and that's what looks not real.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're not going to be dinosaurs for much longer. So he tells the T-Rex to go and gather the bravest dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Which the T-Rex understands because T-Rexes spoke English, I guess.
Yeah. I assume he has some sort of telepathic something.
I mean, we have to assume.
We have to.
Yeah.
You know, this is the second time in the past few months I've been really excited about a franchise again because a guy made friends with dinosaurs. The first time, obviously, was...
Matt has very specific tastes.
The first time was obviously Chris Pratt in the Jurassic World trailer when he rides that dirt bike out with his dinosaur buddies. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
And then Keeper was like, yeah, I'll tell T-Rex what to do. That's cool. I'm on board.
So would you be down, or do you think anything would be made better if someone was friends with a dinosaur in it?
Look, I can't imagine how that could...
If they made like
worse.
Iron Man 4 and there's an Iron Man T-Rex.
Like,
No, I don't even know why I asked. That's clearly the best thing ever.
Exactly.
What if they made like 50 Shades of Grey 2 and it was just him having sex with like a T-Rex?
You know, at least that would be progressive.
Yeah, hold on. How is that progressive? In what I think we need to cover this.
Yeah.
What part of that would be progressive?
Well, it's never been done before. It's breaking down taboos. Like, you can't argue with that.
The words you've said are all true, and somehow they've combined to make a sentence that is completely nonsense.
Look, I just call him out to him. There may be a market for that, and if there is, it's not currently being served.
I'm reasonably certain that there is a whole range of romance novels about ladies being ravaged by dinosaurs.
That's actually
And
true.
the reason I know that is because they're written by someone called Chris Sims, who is not the Chris Sims who talks about comic books and is the world's senior Batmanologist, but someone else who conveniently shares his name.
Yeah.
I'll link to those in the show. If you've ever thought, you know what's missing from my porn? Someone fucking a Yeti. I just
Guess what? We've got we provide here at Ranger Danger.
All right, let's get back to the show. I think.
Yeah.
All right, so he's got some Keeper.
Yeah.
Has got like a pod thing.
Yeah.
And it's got a whole bunch of energems in it.
Yeah.
So Fury comes down with his liony face and his pikey shoulders.
Yeah.
And Keeper's dead. It's very sad.
Yeah, that's the end of Keeper, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you bother putting him in the opening credits, but sure. And he's left the pod next to him. So Fury goes, great, that's the energems, grabs it, goes back up to the ship.
Yeah.
Check things, Matt. He should have checked himself. Because now he's wrecked himself.
He has wrecked himself.
He gets up, he presents the case to Sledge, at which point we discover that E.T. has made a bomb.
E.T. is a terrorist.
Yeah. I mean,
and has made an IED.
Yeah, literally, that's what he's done. He has improvised an explosive device.
Yes, yeah.
So, Fury in the explosion is knocked into an escape pod or like the drop ship.
Yeah.
And is shot back down to Earth.
Yeah.
The rest of the ship is... Oh, sorry, we missed a bit. Oh, no, we didn't. It's next.
Yeah.
I got the order wrong. So, the Sledge's ship goes, like, hurtling off into space.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it releases all the asteroids that it's trailing behind it.
Yeah. Shouldn't bring asteroids to Earth when dinosaurs are around. It's always going to end badly.
No, those of you who've heard of dinosaurs can probably see what's coming next. But, so...
Spoiler warning, the dinosaurs don't make it. Can I, just pause for a second here to point out that there's a lot of similarities at this point between this show and Beast Wars?
Sure. Other than the part where the dinosaurs don't turn... I guess the dinosaurs will turn into a giant robot man. That's true.
It is true. Because it's about two warring factions who come to prehistoric Earth.
Yep.
And they're searching for special gems that are called something.
Yep.
Energon in the case of Beast Wars. And their sort of big conflict ends up defining the planet in our
I guess the difference is that at no point in Beast Wars do we skip forward 65 million years.
But you do in that the Transformers universe
sure. Set in modern day.
Yeah, and is directly influenced by what happens in Beast Wars.
That's not unfair.
So, there's some similarities there.
This is Power Rangers Beast Wars.
Danger.
Oh, that's not what I was doing, but sure.
You can't not do that. It's a thing.
Okay, so on Earth, before the asteroids impact, Keeper gives each dinosaur a gem.
Yep.
And so there's a whole range. There's a Stegosaurus.
Oh, he's not dead, by the way.
Yeah, he wasn't dead.
He just opened his eyes.
He was faking.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a pterodactyl.
Yep.
There's a T-Rex.
Yep.
There's
a Triceratops.
Is there a Stegosaurus?
I can't remember seeing one. There was one of those ones with the funny heads.
Bill on the head? Yeah.
And I feel like there looked like there was 10 energems there. Didn't see 10 dinosaurs.
No, I think there's like 6 or 8, it feels like.
So I guess they were just keeping something secret.
Yeah, hidden dinosaurs.
There's one in the water which couldn't make it because it's...
it was in the middle of a field. Yeah. So all the dinosaurs just kind of fuck off.
Yeah.
At which point...
They all die.
Yeah. And many asteroids impact Earth. Yeah. Which somehow already has the continents.
Yes.
Not how the timeline worked on that, guys, but... Okay, that's fine.
It's the energems. They made the continents separate when they arrived.
Wow, that was quick.
In the solar system, yeah.
Oh, in the solar system, okay. Yeah. Not on Earth 20 minutes ago.
No.
Okay. So I guess, all the dinosaurs die.
There is, as Michael said, a lot of different asteroids. Weird choice, because it starts off behind the ship as basically one big asteroid, but then splinters.
Oh, there's one other thing that happens before everyone dies.
Yeah.
Fury and Keeper have like a sword fight.
Yes.
Because Fury's gotten stuck on Earth.
Yeah.
Because his dropship has been destroyed and he's got nowhere back to be back.
Yeah.
And Keeper's got like a staff with a pointy bit on the end.
Yeah.
So they do a bit of fighting and Fury's like, you were stuck here. And then he gets attacked by a dinosaur or he gets hit by something.
There's a lot of chaos. Explosions happen because of the meteors hitting.
Yeah.
And then Keeper gets sort of
Engulfed?
Engulfed in a wave of debris. We don't see him again, basically. So what was I talking about before?
Meteors hitting Earth.
Yeah, so how this actually happened in real life is one big meteor hitting the planet.
Yes.
I don't understand why that didn't happen in the show.
It's...
For some reason, they had the ship explosion break up the meteor and it hits in, many different pieces and just sort of... Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah.
Anyway, neither here nor there.
Okay, so... cut to 65 million years later.
Yeah, in fact, one of the... So we're at a museum now, Dinosaur Museum. One of the tour guides says that this happened 65 million years ago, showing that this isn't a Christian-friendly show. It shows a total disregard for what the Bible says is history.
Power Rangers has always been strong on its dinosaur themes.
Yeah.
I think, if anything in the Bible were cooler than dinosaurs, this show would happily, have them be Noah-themed or whatever.
The Japanese did think that was the case, because in the Sentai version of Mighty Morphin, the Megazord was God.
Yes.
Or Jesus.
And
something.
in one of the Sentai, the one that was Megaforce, they were angel-themed.
Yeah. But no. Not here.
We didn't get that for some reason.
Power Rangers, all about science.
Yep. Vague nonsense science.
Yeah, it's not...
Bullshit, completely fictional science, but definitely science.
Yeah.
So, the interesting thing about this, the whole Rita Repulsa thing happened in between these two events.
Yeah.
This whole galaxy-destroying conflict that this predates.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I don't quite know if it,
Well, I mean, look, the Power Rangers timeline has never properly gelled together.
No.
At all. It's not like a Marvel Universe thing where they've tried to keep everything in some semblance of continuity. It's everything happened individually within the universes of those shows, and they coexist because they team up sometimes, but they don't. There's no cohesiveness.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing to me, I guess, is, and we're set in a new town this season called Amber Beach.
Yeah.
I guess Amber because prehistoric things, and Beach because it's New Zealand and they're going to end up on a beach eventually.
Yeah.
But I guess it implies that over in Angel Grove, wherever Angel Grove is, all of the other stuff was happening, and this Fury guy was stuck in a cave, just maybe hearing about it on the news, and
Yeah, we don't really know at this stage what the monsters, Fury in particular, was doing in this 65 million year period.
It's a long time.
A very long time. I did expect it to be a case where something that happens in our time, reactivates their stasis or something. But it looks like Fury has just been hanging out that whole time. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Patient guy.
Yeah, so the Red Ranger, who at this point isn't named, but we'll later learn is named Tyler.
I think so, Tyler.
Is that right? Tyler. It's going to take us a while to learn their names.
Yeah.
So his dad investigated a cave at some point and then disappeared.
Yeah.
So he's going to go check out that cave and do some stuff. Okay, let's do this now, right?
Yeah.
What colour Power Ranger is his dad going to be?
Oh, I don't know. I did suspect he would be a Power Ranger.
I mean, he disappeared mysteriously, so he's definitely going to come back.
Totally. And at the end of the episode, Shelby says, "Oh, I would really love to meet your dad someday."
Yeah, I give it 20 episodes.
Yeah, it was pretty on the nose foreshadowing, so he's definitely going to come back.
So the core team is red, black, blue, green, pink.
Now we see everyone but green this episode, is that
yes,
right?
Green Ranger is not in this episode at all.
We only see...
And blue and black don't morph.
That's right.
But we'll talk about that in a sec.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So here are the other ones, right? There's the Gold Ranger, who was in the casting call for the original team and doesn't match up with being his dad.
Yep.
So there's Aqua, Graphite, Purple, Silver, and Talon, who in the Japanese footage is a bad guy, but could probably be repurposed.
It seems like Graphite and Silver, they're pretty...
Because they feel like...
Older.
Graphite
in particular, I can see a dad being the Graphite Ranger.
Dad, what colour do you want to be as a Power Ranger? Oh, I don't know, I'll be Graphite or something, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
We don't know. That's Like, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
It is cool.
Like, we're about to record White Light later today. I think I've known who the White Ranger was since I first knew what Power Rangers was.
Since you could speak.
Yeah. Like, I had no idea. His dad could be a bad guy.
Yeah.
For all we know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Could be great. Could be good.
His dad could be Poisandra secretly.
That would be weird because she existed 65 million years ago.
Yeah, but maybe she took on a human form.
If that happens, I will give you $10.
The amount you give me for strange things happening is going, like, increasingly down.
Yeah, well, I think that's slightly more likely than chocolate necktie catching on.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Should we explain that for anyone?
No,
okay.
no, just... Alright, so it does sound a bit like a sex move when you just say it and move on, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, explain it, because otherwise we're going to have to leave it there.
Alright, so, you know the phrase Mr. Fancy Pants?
Yeah.
Listeners. You say it for someone who is a fancy person.
Yeah, they've got fancy pants. They're so fancy.
Yeah.
Their pants are fancy.
Yes. The problem is that I think that's a really archaic term.
Right.
Right? Because everyone really, except for people in abject poverty, can afford fancy pants.
What are fancy pants in 2015?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's very nebulous. And even if you can, like, get fancy pants, which I do think everyone can get some pants
Sure.
that are fancy, you probably don't want them. Like, if I was given a choice between pants and fancy pants without looking at them, I would just say
Just
pants.
go regular pants.
That's right.
Sure.
Because fancy pants probably have, like, sequins on them or something.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want them.
Sure.
So the metaphor doesn't work.
Okay, so you've decided to bring it to the 21st century.
That's right. So I think we should start calling them Mr. Chocolate Necktie.
And explain your reasoning behind that.
Well, because if a person has a chocolate necktie, the chocolate that is making up their necktie must be very impressive because it's not melting and it's not making marks on their shirt, right? So this is some sort of advanced chocolate.
I need you guys to understand how earnest Matt is while he's explaining this. But go on.
But it'd have to be profoundly impressive chocolate.
Okay, and thus expensive.
Exactly, because like not everyone can afford this fantastic chocolate that doesn't melt and doesn't smudge stuff.
And can be tied into a tie.
It could be tied to otherwise everyone would have it. So if you have a chocolate necktie, you're a fancy guy who has a lot of money.
It's not going to catch on.
It'll catch on.
It's not going to catch on. I promise Matt that if it catches on in 10 years, I'm going to give him $100.
It's going to catch on. It's a much better metaphor.
I put a reminder in my phone for 2025.
Good. I'm going to make it happen.
Okay.
Listeners, if you see someone who's fancy...
Unnecessarily fancy,
That's
I feel.
right. You'll be like, oh, look at Mr. Chocolate Necktie over here. All right? Make it happen.
Were you drunk last night when you came up today?
No.
Okay, that's worse. Alright, so the guy who is the Black Ranger,
Yep.
Chase,
I have Chase written down,
yeah, he works at the, I guess it's a museum.
Yeah.
Is it a specifically dinosaur museum?
Yes, that's right.
Sure.
Everyone's wearing like dinosaur badges and stuff like that.
He doesn't have much luck with the girls.
Yeah.
He basically gets like a one-line flirt out and the girl tells him to buzz off.
Yeah.
That's his real-life girlfriend, which is nice.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah, he does seem a bit too intense on hitting on the ladies. Like, maybe don't be such a sleazebag.
Interestingly, he's New Zealandish,
Yeah.
a New Zealander
Yes.
from New Zealand,
Yeah.
and is
New Zealandino, I believe is the term.
and in New Zealand in the show is from New Zealand as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
This show is very like multi-ethnic,
Yeah.
compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, and look, I'm down for it. It's great.
No, it's great. There's like 2 white people,
Yeah.
which is
And one of them is from New Zealand, which, does that count? Who knows?
that's how many not white people there are in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
All right, Shelby.
Yep.
She also works there, but she doesn't work like as a museum person. She
No.
works in the cafe,
She does.
which is rad because everything is dinosaur themed.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool cafe. I do want to go there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she's terrible at her job.
She is not good at her job.
We meet her knocking things over.
Yep, she drops a bread roll into some soup
Yep.
of someone who I'm sure will be important because she's in the opening credits.
Yep.
She serves a table their orders before they've ordered.
Yep.
Tries to pass it off as being psychic.
Yeah, see, that's where I started to dislike this character.
Right.
Because she made a mistake. I don't have a problem with that. but then she just gave the food away to these customers. Like, that's you covering up your mistake and causing problems by being negligent, you know?
I think that's probably strong language for a dinosaur-themed cafe at a museum. But, I mean, I understand. But,
Yeah.
room to grow.
Okay, look, maybe she will develop and mature, but at this point, kind of grating on me already.
Okay.
So, sorry, Shelby. So far, we have the incompetent cafe worker.
Yep.
And the sleazy New Zealand guy who also works there.
And also the Red Ranger who wants to investigate caves and his dad and stuff.
That's right. He seems cool. I'm down with him so far. He's the only character that, of these three that we've met so far.
Sure.
That I'm like, hey, he's a cool guy.
So then we're introduced to Coda.
Yeah, I
who
like
is the
Coda
Blue
already.
Ranger.
Do you love Coda?
Yeah, I kind of do. Do you know what Coda's deal is?
He's a stunt performer?
No, not the actor, the character.
No.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say then.
Okay.
That character has got like a gimmick
Okay.
that I'm sure we'll get to in the next episode.
Cool.
So the actual actor is like a stuntman who's a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
And I think has basically been having the time of his life getting to be a Power Ranger.
Awesome.
So
I love stories like that.
So Shelby tries to bribe him with a Bronto burger, which he basically just takes off her.
Yeah. And then shoves it in his mouth and tries to talk while keeping his burger in his mouth.
Yep.
I don't know why I like him so much. He doesn't do a lot this episode.
No,
but there's something just really charming.
I wonder if it's just what's clearly his enjoyment at doing the show.
I think that's a lot of what it is. And I think that's a lot of, one of the reasons I love The Flash
Yep.
is because Grant Gustin clearly loves being The Flash.
Yep.
And loves being a superhero and really respects what a big deal that is and how,
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm really down for that. And I think that's probably why I'm going to end up starting to watch Arrow, is because Stephen Amell is clearly really happy to be playing that character.
Yep.
And it shows,
Yeah.
when you are enthusiastic about what you're doing. You just have a good vibe.
Yeah, it even shows in the not fun parts.
Yeah.
Because they're digging what they're doing and getting to do that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more good stuff from... So far, I have to assume that these guys aren't like their characters.
Yeah.
All the acting is proper acting.
Yeah.
Look, they're not going to win an Emmy.
Yeah.
But for kids' TV acting, they're doing perfectly acceptable jobs.
Absolutely, I agree.
It's great.
Yep.
Okay, so Miss Morgan.
Yeah, sorry, before we get that, there was Tyler
Yes.
takes a selfie of himself.
Yes.
not
With a
plot-
dinosaur.
Yeah, not plot relevant.
No, Matt, it's 2015. Everyone has to take a selfie in their pilot.
Okay.
Except the characters of ABC's Selfie. No selfies on that show. You'd be amazed.
Yeah, it felt like pandering to me, but whatever. I'll grant them that 5 seconds of stupidity.
Okay, so...
That's a strong word. It wasn't stupid.
No,
it just annoyed me a little bit.
Sure.
I don't want to overstate things, because we don't do that on this show.
So Miss Morgan,
Yeah.
who, as discussed earlier, is clearly important because she's in the opening credits.
Yeah.
She's, in charge of the research dig.
Yeah, at least this one that they're going on
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
She says Shelby can't go.
Yeah.
Which is probably not unreasonable because Shelby is terrible at her current job.
Yeah, and all she does is take food to tables.
Yeah.
Which, look, that requires a lot of physical skill.
Yeah.
But beyond that, she's messing it up.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess what's interesting is, so Shelby basically, rattles off some Triceratops facts
Yeah.
to try and prove that she knows dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It doesn't I get that what they're going for is, she's being unfairly not taken on these things.
Yeah.
And so, eventually someone will come around and, let her get involved. But it just doesn't quite work for me.
No. I know where you're coming from.
I don't know.
I think what it is, because they spend a lot of time establishing earlier that she's kind of incompetent.
Yeah.
So when someone of authority says it's probably not a good idea for you to come, my reaction is, yeah,
That seems reasonable.
that seems reasonable. They're going to be using equipment that might not be safe for someone.
You damage a fossil, that's pretty terrible.
It is,
You
yeah.
drop a bread roll in a bowl of fossil soup, it's ruined.
So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So, we go to the dig. We're driving along with the Red Ranger.
Yep.
And the reason that we know he's going to be the Red Ranger is he's wearing red and he has a red truck.
Like a bright red truck. It's pretty cool.
It is a cool red truck.
I want that red truck.
So he's like spelunking in a cave that has active lava in
It's
it.
a giant lava cave. Yeah.
That's not even safe to be living near.
No.
That's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. And it's not like a small cave with a little bit of lava seeping through.
No.
It's a huge cavern.
Where the entire floor is actually lava.
Yeah, like spurts of lava bursting up and filling this giant cavern. It's great.
It is kind of great, isn't it? So he is chased by a tarp monster.
Yeah, there's a monster that's covering itself in a sheet.
Yeah.
But, like, doing a very intense job of making sure that nothing
At all.
Yeah, so it just looks like an angry sheet.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, particularly because it doesn't seem concerned about revealing itself later.
No. It's just...
At this point, I was like, is that Keeper?
Yeah, that was my first thought, is that that's what's going on, and he's trying to keep everyone out of the cave because...
the gems are there?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't appear to be...
No. So Tyler, actually, just before he starts getting chased by this thing, sees a fossil.
Yep.
Like, basically a whole dinosaur fossil, which generally doesn't
Not how
happen.
fossils work, but...
Yeah. And he grabs what he sees as, like, a little glowing gem.
Yep.
He's like, oh, this looks like some sort of energy gem. And takes it out of the wall. It's red, much like his shirt and car, which is good. Good thing he didn't find the green one, otherwise he'd have to buy a new car.
It would be incredibly inconvenient, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the tarp monster kind of chases him away.
Yeah.
And so the next thing we see is Shelby is hitchhiked on the back of the truck.
Hidden in with all the materials.
Yep, under a tarp of her own.
Yeah.
So basically what she's hoping to do is say, look, I'm here now. You might as well...
Let me be involved.
At least let me, like, sit around and be useful.
This is the moment in the episode where I probably got the most frustrated at the writing. Not super frustrated. But when you have characters sitting there and talking to themselves about what they're about to do, it's a little disappointing. Because she sits there and she's like, okay, what I'm going to do now is say to these guys, hey, I'm here now, so why don't you let me be part of the dig?
And then the reason that doesn't happen is because she's interrupted.
Yeah.
By the tarp monster, who is stealing a crate from the back of the truck.
Rummaging like a possum through the supplies of the dig. So what confuses me here is that what we find out that he took from there is...
Surprise.
An energy gem.
Yep, an energem.
Yeah, an energem, which was presumably with one of the fossils.
Yeah. It was already on the truck.
Yeah, why did they take a fossil?
Okay, here's what I'm going to say, and presumably this will be contradicted by episode 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Miss Morgan, who's in charge, discovered that somewhere nearby but separately.
Yeah.
She understands that they have power, but has kind of figured out that there's other ones, which is why they're looking for this cave.
Okay.
And investigating this cave.
It's really interesting.
So, she maybe already knows about them.
Yeah.
But just doesn't have all of them yet. She just has the pink one that she's found and has brought along because whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say.
That's an interesting theory.
So he opens up the crate.
Yeah.
There's a pink glow, so we know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
He runs away and steals it. Shelby tries to call over the other guys, but is nowhere near loud enough to do that.
Yeah, so there's machines doing machine fossil things.
Yeah, digging and shit. So she runs after Tarp guy.
Yeah.
She steals the crate. He shoots a laser at her.
Yeah, at this point I'm like, it's probably not Keeper.
Yeah.
Because there's murdering going on. At least of the attempted variety.
Yeah. So he lasers her. She, falls.
Yeah.
He goes...
he has Stormtrooper aim. Cannot hit anything directly in front of him.
Tarp monster goes to grab the crate.
Yeah.
At which point Tyler, Tarzan, swings across the scene and grabs the crate. It is rad.
It's super rad, but it's like, what was he smoking off?
It makes no sense. He's got a rope, so he'd have to have been prepared, knowing that would be the angle he'd have to do. It makes no sense, but it is so cool. I'm willing to overlook it.
Totally. This and what he does in a moment suggests to me that he's far too capable already.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need Power Ranger
No,
powers.
he's not going to get any more useful by getting a giant T-Rex robot.
Yeah, he's already Indiana Jones, basically.
Okay, so let's talk about what he does next. Oh, Tarp Monster pulls off his tarp.
Yeah.
So his name isn't spoken in the episode.
Yeah.
But he's called Ice Age.
Right. One word.
Ice Age, one word.
Yeah.
He's an ice monster.
Yeah.
He's got he's blue and white and spiky. He's got big hands.
Yep.
Like really big hands. And an exposed rib cage.
Which is weird, but it's not like weird for Power Rangers.
It's a pretty cool design.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
You know, it stands up.
For an ice monster, I'm like, yeah, he's a weird ice monster.
Yep.
Thanks.
So the Red Ranger kind of, they're in a bit of a standoff.
Yeah.
He pulls out a banana.
Comedy.
He pulls out a pair of underpants.
Comedy.
He pulls out a shovel.
Which, at first glance, you're like, haha, comedy. But no, that's actually where it's going.
No, because the shovel is...
A super shovel.
Yeah, okay, because Ice Age shoots some lasers.
Yeah.
Would have hit,
Yeah.
except the shovel deflects the lasers right back at him.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
No, particularly because Tyler looks surprised as anyone
Yes.
when this happens, despite the fact that that's what he was going for.
And what were you hoping,
Yeah.
were you just hoping that you'd die with a shovel in your hand?
Just like my dad.
So he, spins the shovel around and deflects laser blasts away.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
He starts doing some lightsaber shit with it.
It's cool enough that I don't care.
Yeah, it's another one of those things where, look, it's rad, so we'll buy it, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ice Age freezes them,
Yeah.
but they've managed to grab the energems,
Yeah. Just barely touching them.
which is enough. It breaks the ice.
Yep. And he says, no, my precious ice, which is, like, what? Precious? What?
It's precious.
Yeah, alright. Whatever. Weirdo.
So then they get guns.
Yeah. So the gems give them guns which are fossilized, but then moments later aren't fossilized and are shiny.
Yeah, because there's a hole in the front
Yeah.
that they put the gem into.
Tyler's pretty perceptive.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, looks like this goes here, and just puts the gem into the gun.
Here's the deal, right? If I was holding a gem
Yeah.
and then in my hand a gun appeared,
Yeah.
I don't think that they go together is weird.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think, given how much everyone knows about guns,
Yeah.
I think the idea that there's a hole in the front that the gem might go into.
Well, that's not how guns work, though. That's how, muskets work.
Well, maybe, they're prehistoric, so
That's
they're old
true.
guns.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I argue with that.
the guns get all shiny and new and Nerf gunny and on sale at Toys R Us for $14.99.
Yep.
They've got a chamber, a revolver that spins.
Which I love. Look, the one thing, I'm not pro-gun in any
No.
sense of the word, but spinning chambers are awesome.
So he spins it,
Yeah.
just really testing it.
Yeah.
Shoots it.
Yeah.
Lasers come out.
Yeah.
Shoot at Ice Age.
On accident. Yeah.
And Shelby says to him, "What did you do?" And he was just like, "No, I just spun it." And he spins it. It's kind of endearing.
It is, yeah.
They don't have a mentor at this stage, although I'm sure they'll get one.
Yeah.
They're just, winging it.
Yeah.
So they spin their things again, and dinosaur silhouettes come out.
Yeah.
And they hide. They, panic.
Well, they cower. Of course, because there's giant ghost dinosaurs flying at them.
So, is this the first time a Power Ranger has ever run away from their first morph?
Well, I think it's the only time they've been able to, but yes. Now, do you think that this will be the morph from now on, or we have a morphing sequence?
I don't know. I love morphing sequences.
Yeah, me too.
I'm on record as a fan of a morphing sequence.
I will be a little bummed if we don't get morphing sequences,
Yes.
to be honest.
But at the same time, I've been watching lots of clips of Kamen Rider on the internet this week, and that's a show that mostly does, morphs on site.
Yeah.
They, do a thing and their suit appears.
Yeah.
That can be pretty rad as well.
Yeah, if you execute it right, that can be cool, absolutely.
So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Because it's not a proper morph, I can understand why you wouldn't go the proper morphing sequence.
Yeah.
Say that for episode 2
Sure.
or whenever the team gets to do it.
I'm with you.
Especially because this episode is already, we're 15 minutes in at this stage.
More than, yeah.
This is, near the end.
Yeah.
So, they morph.
Yep, they've got Power Rangers.
They get,
the villain goes, oh, those gems made you into Rangers. So I guess like Power Rangers are a thing.
Power Rangers are clearly a thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's been 22 teams. Just like, 6 months ago, 300 of them teamed up to fight off an invasion force.
Yeah.
He must have at least seen that on the news.
Heard about that.
You'd be aware of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's like not that town, it's the next town over. You'd know.
Yeah.
So they get in-helmet, like Iron Man shots.
Yeah, I've noted that as well. It's really interesting. It has to be Iron Man inspired, do you think?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
They're weirdly like the only light coming is on their eyes. You can't really see their mouths.
Yeah, it's not like Iron Man where there's like a digital display inside.
No,
it's
they're just like what they would be seeing.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it does a lot to really personalize who they are when they're in the suits.
It's that perfect solution to the problem of you want to be able to see how the Rangers are reacting when they're fighting as Rangers, but you don't want to have an open mask.
Yes.
You know?
Because then what's the point at all?
Exactly.
And I think with some probably judicious use of like no helmet shots,
Yeah.
it bridges all those gaps
Yeah.
and becomes a consistent thing between normal dude and Power Ranger.
Yep.
I really dig it. I think it's a good idea. It's got to be cheap,
Yep.
which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So there can't have been a lot of this that was Japanese footage.
No. My first expectation was that all of that prologue sequence
Yep.
was Japanese footage, but if you're saying that Keeper is an American dude,
Yeah, no, all of that would have had to have been US.
so it's like this in the stuff on the ship. was US?
Slage is a US creature, so
yeah, what was Japanese footage? Maybe nothing.
there's a bit of fight coming up,
Right.
but it would have had to have been like 30 seconds at most
With the ice monster.
with the ice monster.
Like that had to be American footage as well.
It's definitely in the same looking forest.
Yeah, it's
so either they matched it very well, or
no, I really think that's American footage.
so this is an episode with no Japanese footage in it
As far as I
potentially.
can tell, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it bodes well.
Yeah. I mean, if they're keen to keep doing that,
It's got to cost money.
yeah.
They actually shot a full episode of a TV show today, man.
I hope no one tells James Van.
The crew wouldn't have known. No,
He would flip his desk.
the
if he heard that.
trick is all of Super Dino Charge.
Yeah.
They're just gonna like shittily paste their faces over the Japanese footage
Yeah.
and do that like mouth movie up and down like Angela Anaconda footage.
Yeah.
That's all it's gonna be. So the red T-Rex Zord shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm probably never going to be on board with CGI Zords.
Yeah.
I've heard or maybe seen lately that the constituent Zords are CGI, but once it becomes like a robot guy, it's like a physical costume on set.
Interesting.
And if that's the case, I will happily take that compromise.
Yep.
You know?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. So yeah, no real Megazord fight. It's just
It picks up Ice Age
Yeah.
and throws him away.
before this happens, Ice Age identifies it as a Zord.
Yep.
So he's clearly a cross Power
No,
Ranger.
he's been on Ranger Wiki, he read up.
Yeah.
We should talk about the fight with the Red and Pink Rangers against Ice Age.
Yeah.
It's not very long,
No.
but there's like some jump kicks and some power punching.
There's a double punch.
Yeah, I'm
Which
down for it.
Shelby announces as a double punch.
Two people punching. It's a double punch.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I'm on board with Dino Charge. So that's basically the end of the episode.
Yeah, so there is also a bit where they demorph.
Yep.
Because they get demorphed by the T-Rex Zord almost stepping on them.
Yep.
And so that hurts them or something to the extent where they lose their powers.
Yep.
And then Tyler reveals that he has a car and he can drive it back to the museum.
Yep. I'm a little worried about the archaeologists team
Yeah.
if they didn't notice any of that going on.
Yeah.
It's not far away.
Yeah.
And the T-Rex does like proper T-Rex stomps.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh well.
They're clearly terrible archaeologists.
Or just very focused.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they were down in the cave. But anyway, so they've driven off and Tyler gives Shelby a lift back. So he does the whole "my dad disappeared" thing. He's got a pretty good sketch of Fury.
Yeah. In fact, the sketch of Fury looks cooler than Fury does.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's fine.
Fury steps out just onto the road. He's just...
Clearly not as concerned about hiding himself as Ice Age was.
And he says the sentence, "I smell energems." Not as threatening as they were going for, I don't think.
No. Maybe not. Maybe sense was probably the way to go.
Yeah, something other than smell.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it.
That's Powers from the Past.
That is episode 1 of Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Episode 781 of Power Rangers.
That's right. Yeah, that was a good pilot.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good, like...
It just... There's a lot of encouragingly smart decisions. Like,
yes.
As you said, not trying to cram everything into the pilot.
Yeah, so there's 3 more Power Rangers on this core team.
Yep.
One of them we don't even meet.
Yep.
2 of them...
It might be that scientist lady.
It might, but I'm pretty sure isn't.
Right.
I'm comfortable saying that from what I know,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
They don't try and, have Keeper meet the Rangers. They don't meet anyone other than the one monster. It'd be interesting to see how long it takes for them to form together as a team. I guess next episode seems likely.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I expect next episode we'll get the other 3 Rangers and a Megazord fight to close out.
That seems likely,
Yeah.
I'd imagine. But we won't know for another 2 weeks.
No, we have to wait 2 weeks to see more of this.
We're watching this in real time. It's messed up.
It is messed up. I'm a little bummed out, to be honest, so I have to wait. Which is good.
Yeah. So, Ranger Danger Dino Charge creature feature.
Yeah, so for new listeners, what we do is that every episode we take the monster of the week and we put it onto our ongoing list of who's the coolest monster, basically.
Yep.
We've been doing this on Mighty Morphin. We have 60 to 70 monsters on that list.
We're going to do a new list.
Completely fresh for Dino Charge, just because I don't think it's fair to compare those 2 things.
No.
So that means that Ice Age goes number 1 place on the list.
Are you comfortable ranking any of the spaceship villains yet?
Not yet.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, give them some more time. And I suspect we're going to see Ice Age again.
Yes, he doesn't get destroyed, he just gets thrown off into the distance.
Yeah. It's possible that he's not like a monster of the week monster. He may be like it's a third party. You know?
He could be.
Someone else hunting.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. So yeah, he takes the number 1 position out of default.
Default, yeah. Next week he could fall to number 2.
Yep.
Which
Free fall down the list.
All right. So what are we going to do next week? First of all, we're going to do something called Fantasy Zordon.
Yes.
But I didn't have time to get that all prepared. And I think having seen the pilot, now I've got a better idea of some stuff.
Yep.
So we'll tell you more about that next week. Speaking of next week, I think we're going to watch the Kaiorayuga pilot.
Yep.
Get an idea for how different they are.
Will we risk seeing some stuff from later in Dino Charge that would then ruin the experience for us?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. All right. We might
Maybe
have to
don't do that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about what we're going to do next week to fill in that week gap. We'll come up with something for you guys.
We'll definitely do something. It might just be explaining Fantasy Zordon.
Yeah.
Because that might be so complicated and stupid that it takes
a whole episode.
A whole episode.
Yeah.
So, if you guys have any thoughts about this pilot, I imagine you've all seen it.
Yeah.
You know, it's available for free. You don't even have to pirate it.
Yeah.
Tell us what you thought. You know, we'll be doing feedback live.
Yep.
So
with Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger, we generally do that with a guest. These Dino Charge episodes will just be me and Michael every week.
Yep.
And we're going to record them basically the week the episode airs.
Yes.
So
today is Wednesday that this episode has dropped.
Yep.
For an episode that aired on Saturday.
Yep.
And we're going to keep doing that throughout the season.
So you're going to, if you send us emails, they'll be read out within days of you sending it.
Yeah, so as long as you send us an email before the next episode airs,
Yep.
seems reasonable.
Yep.
We'll talk about it next week.
That's right.
Did you have anything else to say? If you're a new listener, hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in for Dino Charge.
We appreciate it. If you'd like, you can check out our huge archive of Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger.
Yep, we've got some special episodes, lots of regular episodes.
Yep.
It's all very exciting.
Yeah.
If you're one of our old listeners, who statistically is probably called Brandon, hey guys, hope you're enjoying this one as well.
Yep.
I really dug that.
Yeah.
Matt will tell you, I've been on a high about Dino Charge coming for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been good. One
And
of us
I'm-
was happy. So that was good.
Oh, yeah, really, I can't wait for the next one. I can't believe we have to wait 2 weeks for the next one.
Yeah. And we don't know what's going to happen.
Is this how people normally watch television?
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's
isn't it?
terrible. I don't understand why anyone would do this.
Because they get joy out of it instead of deep regret.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess when you put it like that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, so next week is episode 782.
Except not next.
No, not next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's called Past, Present and Fusion.
Hey!
But we will be back next week with something else that is cool.
Yep.
We don't know what yet.
We don't know what.
It's a mystery.
So we will see you in a week for Rangers Dino Charge, or in just a few days for the next episode of Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. I've been Michael.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.